Hey everyone, welcome to the final E3 live reaction stream. Looks like I'm running solo today. So I'm Till Plays. I do stream on my own channel and make my own videos. So I'm at Till Plays above there. But if you want to catch these group reactions, group podcasts coming soon, and more, we are Spawn Trap, and you can follow us on all the links that are listed down in that link in the bottom left corner of the screen there. We do live reactions over on Twitch. We archive videos and everything on YouTube. And we are going to be working on that podcast soon. So I'll have like audio links and everything for where you can follow that soon as we start that rolling. I'm actually seeing if I can schedule a time where we can all get together and talk about our favorite E3 moments of this year, and maybe the ones that we didn't like, of which I have a long list of stuff that was very frustrating this year at E3. But now is the Bandai Namco showcase. We're going to be watching that. So there's already been some stuff shown from Bandai Namco through the other showcases this year. So they do have some stuff. I don't think this is going to be a very long showcase. I think it's like a half an hour long. At most, it's an hour because Ven is up after this. Ven's like sort of like a G4 like online gaming network or channel. No, actually, I think Ven might have already happened. There's some other showcase happening after this, I think. And then we're not going to be doing the E3 awards on this group stream. Nobody else is available. I'm actually I'm thinking of doing that over on my personal channel, since it's just me. And then I'll be going over like all the games that were shown at E3 and picking my favorites. Maybe rewatching some trailers.
Extremely foolish.
We're gonna psyops this shit.
Case of each man for himself.
When I think of Bandai Namco, I don't think of military shooter. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if I know any other Bandai Namco shooting games.
They will be as a compass, guiding you through the unknown.
Where on God's green earth have we landed?
What nightmare have these luckless...
It's like a horror game, though.
You
keep lookout.
Lookout? Lookout for what?
One by one.
See, you didn't keep lookout.
Will be snuffed out. Unless you can find the means to save them. Trapped beneath the earth. Swallowed by the void. Will you find the path to salvation? Or be lost in the darkness forever?
What is this? House of Ashes. The Dark Pictures.
We're here at Supermassive to talk about the next game in the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes. And I'm joined by exec producer Dan. How you doing?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Right,
Really cool.
so let's start at the very start. We're going to be talking about House of Ashes for most of the interview, but for those that don't know, tell us about the Dark Pictures anthology.
The Dark Pictures is a series of narrative, story-driven, branching horror stories. Each one is standalone. They each tell a different story, completely separated from
If they're doing these interview style stuff,
so there is connection
like
to it. House of Ashes is set at the end of the Iraq War in 2003, with links
Capcom
4,000 years ago
did.
that set the story up.
No,
So tell us
Capcom
more
didn't
about
even
the
do this.
Theme and themes, I suppose, within House of Ashes.
It
I
starts
think they
off
did,
with
yeah.
A military unit. They've got some new
That tells me they're
technology
probably
that
only
they
showing a
can
few
use to
games.
stuff underground. They think
This is
they've
gonna be another
identified
disappointing
something in the
stream.
Atlas Mountains in Iraq, and then as part
This
of that,
isn't
they come into conflict with an Iraqi
every-
unit. There's a pitched
All the
firefight,
big
and then
names, most of the big
two
names,
groups are
have
plunged
the
underground.
formula
There's
down
some
for
sort
E3
of-
presentations.
It's revealed that
Game,
there's a hidden temple
game,
underground,
game,
these big massive
game.
structures, but these
Talk
different
about it
groups are all
later.
separated
Talk about it
Radio
during
contact is
the
lost,
show
and it's
floor,
immersed in
like
this black darkness.
Where on God's
the
green earth
the
have we
E3
landed?
presentation
And then
is
they're going
not
to
the
start
time
hearing
for
things and
this.
seeing things, and people are going to start disappearing.
What the just happened?
So this time it's a very real threat.
All of the Dark Pictures games, they all pull something from real life or from history, from fact. What's the case with the myth or historical part of House of Ashes?
So we love looking at and reading myths and legends and stories and doing our research, and we know our fans love it as well because there's something that they can link into afterwards, and I love doing that when I'm playing games or watching movies myself. So this one's
By the way, I was
4,000 years
having
ago,
streaming
the
issues
Akkadian
right when I hit going
Empire,
live.
this terrible evil that happened. We had this
It seems to have resolved itself, but just in case the stream gets like cut off and or very sluggish and buffering, it will be uploaded later on
And so a
YouTube.
lot of the history is lost, but we've done a lot of research about it, and then we had a lot of happy accidents that linked into the story we wanted to tell. And the fun thing for us is we get to do our own take on it. We get to twist it, and obviously we've made our own truth from it.
At the end of the sneak peek, the trailer, we saw monsters. Tell us a bit more about what's going on there.
The military unit that you're playing as, they don't really know what they're coming up against. They're not human, they're bigger, they're larger, they're faster. The team aren't going to know if there's one or two of them or hundreds or thousands of them. And that's kind of the threat with this. You know, they've got guns, maybe they could try and take one of them down. But maybe there's another one around the corner, or maybe there's a group of them, and maybe they're going to get ambushed.
Maybe they're like a cluster.
Exactly,
And
yeah,
they all pop
a
out at
nest,
once.
as it were.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to work on and see these things move around and how horrific they can be. They're different to us. They perceive the world in a different way. Getting little snippets of it in the darkness, and did I see that? Was it something that moved? Or is it actually just one of the other soldiers that's stuck in the catacombs?
Who's there?
We like to try and misdirect people on things, you know, that did you see something, did you not? And that's a great thing within horror, that you think you're going to be scared right now, and we're not going to scare you now. We'll scare you in a minute when you're not expecting it.
It's always coming.
Yeah, always.
So should we expect a huge amount of peril in the game?
Definitely. We love to do it. You know, it's fun for us to work on. As horrific as it is, and we know that our fans love it as well. So yeah, there's at least 60 unique deaths, and there's a whole ton of variation on that as well. So Merwin and some of the others, you're going to see different things happening to them depending on how you play it out. You know, getting ripped and shredded and torn, and because there's a firefight, there's going to be bullets flying as well, and all kinds of stuff. And it's not just the deaths; it's the gore that goes along with it, and you know, lots of blood.
Wicked. It sounds absolutely terrifying. I'm in.
Not gonna lie, man. It's pretty bad.
What differences have you made or changes have you made to the gameplay and mechanics for House of Ashes?
We're always evolving the Dark Pictures. We listen to a lot of the feedback from our fans, and also our team, what they want to do, how they want to push things forward. So we tried some stuff in Little Hope with you know, more camera control, 360 cameras at certain parts, and we've really leaned on that again, and it really works well. In House of Ashes, lots of the game is set underground, and so these sort of corridors, which are really tight and oppressive.
Creepy.
Yeah, indeed. So we've had to learn, because you take away the fixed cameras, and that takes away some opportunities for horror. But we've had to learn new tricks to scare people and, you know, ramp up the tension and you know, the chance for jump scares, which we know some people love. We've also got a new torch mechanic, so you know, it's military themed. So these guys are going to be walking around with weapons, with torches mounted on them. We love the lighting that we do, this sort of really inky black darkness that we have, and sort of the contrast to the.
I don't think this has been
So you
shown
need
at
to
any of
lean
the
on that torch
showcases
to
yet.
allow you to see where you're going, what the threat is, and that kind of stuff. We've also done things like added difficulty settings to this game. So in Little Hope we added you know, QTE warning icons as an example, and we've got some really good positive feedback about that, but also some people want to turn that off. We want to allow you to play the game in your way. So with our accessibility settings and difficulty settings, if you want to have a more casual experience, you can change those settings. Still, most of your characters are going to end up dead, but you know, that's what
Spoilers,
happens,
yeah,
indeed.
but that's what we come here for. That's
Yeah.
okay, we can deal with it. So I've got to ask, what was it like working with Ashley?
So Ashley was fantastic. She researched Rachel. She understood her when she came on the set.
Right.
It's so refreshing. She knew her inside out. And Rachel is a flawed character, so she brought that through so fantastically. The rest of the cast were fantastic as well.
When we were looking for Joey,
They spent almost 10 minutes on this.
You didn't tell me this because...
you'd flip your shit.
We want you to connect to these characters and understand them as humans. We want them to seem real because they're real to us. You know, we spend a long time designing them, and I don't mind if you hate any one individual character, because you don't like everyone in real life. but maybe you'll like them when you see the journey they go on.
Maybe you'll like them once they're dead, and you feel bad about it.
and you feel bad about it, definitely.
Yeah.
But also, we want you to save them. We want you to try and save them. You know, we know that some people want to get everyone killed straight away, and that's fine. That's their playthrough.
cool.
That's what
Yeah.
they want to do. But you know, can you get everyone out alive and save as many as you can?
There's a lot of replayability there.
Indeed,
Goes on
yeah.
forever. I like
Yeah.
that. So, last question. Favorite scene?
Favorite
10
scene.
minutes.
So,
What are they doing?
Our Iraqi soldier, and Jason Kolchak, one of the Marines that's there. There's a way that can play out, and a sort of contest between them, and you can make it go in a number of different ways.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
It's really emotional. Seeing them film it, I was lucky enough to be there, and then seeing that come through in game, I think we've got something
Oops.
there. I think that's gold. And then,
this
of course,
come
I
from?
love scaring people, so I love the jump scares. I love the moments of tension that we bring. We can't hold you in that moment, so we've got some fantastic jokes in there as well to allow you to relax for a moment before we scare you again.
To take your mind off
Yeah.
the imminent threat. I like that. Dan, thank you so much. This has been really cool to talk about, and I'm sure, you know, I'm excited and terrified in equal part, and everyone else is just excited. I'm sure of it.
And it's been a real pleasure to speak to you, and I can't wait to get it into people's hands.
It's going to happen.
This isn't looking good. They spent 10 minutes on their first game, which is a horror. I mean, it's a pretty cool horror game. Like the statue. Like, I guess. Was that it?
Before we dive in the House of Ashes, see how scared you got. Of course, we want to thank Razer for being one of the E3 2021 sponsors. Of course, giving us these tired old blades.
It was
nobody
one
cares about.
game?
But this Blade 14, RTX 3080 built right in. Of course, the Razer
I'm
chairs.
taking that.
Thank you so much. No, I'm taking that.
Okay, we'll fight.
Okay, well,
We've done it before.
you know what? I'll take the hand-me-down. I'll be little brother. I'll take the outdated. Nobody wants these anymore, right? Doesn't worry. Golden Boy, you just saw the Dark Pictures anthology.
Yeah.
Your first glimpse of it. We have some reactions from you. Is
Oh,
what
you
they,
do?
They were recording you. They said you were a little scared, not terrified.
Not terrified, thankfully, because it was just a normal trailer, which
Here
is
we go.
fine.
See, you're
And
doing
now,
it.
there's
You're-
my face.
You're
and
unsettled for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you don't like that. You don't
yeah,
like what you're
don't like
seeing there.
that.
No,
Not a fan of that one either. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that was one of the jump scares in
This
the
is the
trailer.
schedule.
I got the willies there at the end too.
Yeah.
I am not crazy about horror.
The-
I was actually talking to the crew at the back, and
This is
I
the
said,
schedule.
it really takes a very twisted mind.
225.
to come up with these
Bandai
things.
Namco
But it is
Entertainment.
impressive, though.
3:30.
You heard there in the interview.
Eureka Studio.
Dan saying like, "Oh yeah, I love the jump scares. I live for the jump scares." It's
60 different death animations is what that was something he wanted to make sure, because of course this is a choose your own
What the
adventure. If you've never
fuck?
played a Dark Picture anthology, right? You are moving characters in a third person. You jump around. It's like you're watching a movie. You make choices. Those choices leads to different permutations, different setups.
Are they gonna
different
be
set
talking about
settings,
this for
which
an
leads to
hour?
Different deaths or
Yeah.
no deaths if you're really really good. But that's the idea, right? Is that you're playing in your own horror movie. Is
Are they gonna be
and
playing
gives you a
commercials?
Reason to replay it.
Yeah.
Is
Also,
Bandai
for
Namco
this
coming
first
back?
movie, was that
Showing
Ashes
more
to
games?
Fail,
Yeah.
isn't it? I didn't know that going into it, which I was
The
like, wow,
fuck?
this is definitely an upgrade from High School Musical. Like this is definitely a quick turnaround.
Sure.
Big different genre. But
I-
yeah, and I think also because we had the VO
I
panel
didn't
yesterday,
think-
which was great.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, right? Like the impact that video games are having. Hollywood stars.
I
coming in,
did not
lending
think-
their voice, lending their face, their acting, their skills to this, really bringing these characters. to
Based
life.
on what we saw
Even
from
more layers to this
you,
horror.
Ubisoft wasn't. Ubisoft was okay. It had an okay showcase, especially in comparison to what we've seen today. After Square Enix, I mean, Square Enix had a couple games that I was like, yeah, all right, let's go. After
House of Ashes. But for now, let's toss it over to the one, the only Jackie Jane.
Brothers in arms, or each man.
after fucking what, I already forget what was in the schedule here. But you know what? I didn't even see the Blade Point thing. At least in the name there is Blade Point. At least in Warner Brothers, Back for Blood. I mean, theirs was 10 minutes too. But it says in the title, Back for Blood. This says Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc. Implies more than one game. For more than 10 minutes. Gearbox. After Gearbox. After Capcom. I did not think that this was gonna happen after 3 fucking days of you just honestly some bullshit. Like, let's break this down here. Like, Ubisoft had it. Okay, there's some missteps. There's some like disappointment. It was a regular E3 showcase. You know, can't fault them for that. It's a pandemic year. Give them a break. They have other Ubisoft forwards planned out throughout the year. Okay, so you know you're expecting not as much as you traditionally get because they're going to be saving some of their big stuff for later. Okay, that's fine. Gearbox, no fucking excuse. That was horrible. The Xbox and Bethesda knocked it out of the park. A+ for an E3 showcase. I'd say you know sort of the same thing with Nintendo. Some stuff we knew we weren't gonna get. We had our expectations too high, but I think still Nintendo was like A+ game after game after game. You know, Xbox and Nintendo brought it, which is what you want. Which is what most people are coming here for Xbox and Nintendo, and they brought it. Are they still talking?
Zuzu doesn't, pop up anywhere in a textbook. But something that was really interesting for me when we were going.
I don't want to get claimed over their discussions. Okay, like Square Enix, that was a huge disappointment. But there, like for me, that Guardians of the Galaxy reveal got me hyped. But you know, like what else was there? I know like a lot of it was Final Fantasy stuff, and from what I understand, Final Fantasy fans not that thrilled about what the showcase was. So you know, that was a huge miss up there. Back 4 Blood, you know, kind of another disappointment. You're saying you're having a whole showcase on Back 4 Blood, and it's 10 minutes. Then followed by the PC Gaming Show, to be honest. Went on way too long for what it needed. Was really cringy. But they showcased a lot of games. They weren't like top triple A tier games. But they had a lot of games. There's something for someone, you know, for everyone. Same with the Future Game Show. They had a lot of games back to back. That was a long night, the PC Gaming Show and Future Game Show. But, you know, they showed off games, which is what you want to see. There's a lot of games that were shown off. Take-Two, it's like, hey, let's have a panel, you know, it's like, cool that you're leading the charge in that, but it kind of sucks you bringing it to E3 and there's like, people are expecting some games. The Mythical Game Showcase, Indie Showcase, and Freedom Games. Those were fantastic. They had a bunch of like great gems that, again, something for everyone. So like the small indie stuff, it does better than these, you know, like well-known publishers. Capcom, embarrassing disappointment. Nintendo brought it back. Hey, let's. And then you get Bandai Namco. It's like, all right, Bandai Namco, big publisher. They showed off quite a few games already throughout E3. They just showed a Dragon Ball thing during Nintendo's press conference. Where the fuck are all the games now? Voices of E3. What the?
Hello, welcome back.
Okay, so just Bandai Namco's done. They showed off. They didn't even bring back the other games that they showed for the other things. They're like, yeah, here's what was it? Something Dark Pictures Anthology or something like that. What am I? Oh my god. I don't know. Why did anybody other than Nintendo and Xbox and Ubisoft even bother going to E3? Like, is E3 dead? Is E3 dead? Because after all this, I'm thinking E3 is dead. The next thing isn't until 3:30. There's no way I'm reacting to that. Sorry, 3:30 Pacific, 5:30 No, sorry. Oh my god. 6:30 Eastern is where I'm at. So it's like yeah. It's 5:45 right now. In like 45 minutes. Then there's a GameSpot showcase. Maybe that would be cool. That's at most an hour long, and then there's the award show. I don't even know if I want to do the award show now. What awards are there? There's a couple big game announcements across, the three. And yeah, I would say Guardians of the Galaxy for Square Enix. Oh my god. I can't believe this is the E3 that we start all this. Alright, well, if you were just as disappointed as we were, let us know. And maybe I'll bring up your comments in our podcast. Oh man. You know what? At least we'll look back and we'll see, despite the pandemic, what a fantastic showcase the Xbox and Nintendo was. It wasn't our expectation because, everybody's like waiting on new hardware from Nintendo, but they came out and said, hey, that's not happening, but we got games to show you. And boy, they showed us some games. And I'm excited. But that's it for me. That's a wrap on E3. I don't even know if this video is going to be uploaded. If it is, oh my god, I'm so disappointed. All right. If you want to follow us, go check out the link in the bottom left corner of the screen there on Twitch and YouTube, so that way you know when we go live or upload a new video. Make sure that you turn on notifications so you get notified when that happens. If you want to follow me, I stream and play games and make videos at Tilt Plays. You can follow me there. And until the next event or the next podcast, we'll see you later. Bye.